he receives the garments of a priest. They go up. In my opinion, it's all clear. Simply in a space shuttle, they bring him up to the mother spaceship. In the religion version, it says now, he's going up to heaven. He's flying to heaven with the two angels. Then he comes to this garden with different vegetables, different colors, flowers, etc. In the religious version, they say now Enoch is entering into the paradise with different flowers and vegetables. In reality, it was just a plantation in the spaceship. Finally, he comes to the round room with the throne where the highest is sitting. In the religious version, it says now Enoch is in the places standing before the throne of the Almighty God. In reality, he simply stands before the chair of the captain of the spaceship. So we misunderstood and we misinterpreted the whole book. Not in a bad sense, because we had no other ways. Some 150 years ago, we had no technology of today. We had to translate it in a religious, psychological way. Enoch up there, he learns the language of these ETs. And soon, as he knows the language, he even gives their names. He says, and these are the names of the leaders. The name of the first is Jekun. He's the one who seduced the children of women. The name of the second is Asbeel. He gave back.
At Booking.com, we don't limbo, but
I got a back thing.
we do offer free cancellation.
Advice to the children, etc., etc. Altogether, 36 names. So ladies and gentlemen, I know even the names of the extraterrestrials. Everybody could know it. It's handed down by Enoch. Enoch speaks the language, and he realizes that these beings wanted to have sex with some humans. Sex with humans? Are extraterrestrials looking like us? I come back to this point at the end of my speech. And it's, Enoch writes, but when the sons of the heaven saw that the daughters of men were fair, they admired them and desired to mate with them. And they said to each other, we will take them as wives. Altogether, they were 200, which descended upon Mount Hermon in these days of Jared. Jared is the father of Enoch. Now you say, sex, extraterrestrial sex with humans, this is impossible. But it's not only in the book of Enoch. Just read the Bible. Here, first book of Moses, chapter 6, verse 1. When the humans began to multiply and have daughters, the sons of God saw that they were fair, and they took them as their wives. I came back to this problem with sex with extraterrestrials later on. So we have written records in holy and non-holy books. I'm a specialist in it. I know at least 30 of these books. And more or less they all tell the same thing with different names, different gods, different problems, different persons. But the story is always the same. And the same thing happens in Stone Age. At that time, in Stone Age, our forefathers were technologically primitive. There was no writing. So they started with cave paintings and cave chiselings. That is in Switzerland. That is in Arizona. Arizona, United States. This is in Peru. A very big figure. The original is 29 meters high. One arm points towards heaven. The other arm down towards earth. In the next. Here you have one figure, you hardly see them because it's again in Peru. It's on a mountain top and you can see them only from the air. It looks like this. We continue away from South America. This is in the Sahara Desert in Africa. Now between South America and the Sahara Desert are 8,000 kilometers. The next one, still in the Sahara Desert. Kimberley Ranches, Australia, always the gods were represented with helmets or halos or rays around their heads. Still Australia, Kimberley Ranches. My question, why I show you this very fast, why had our ancestors, prehistoric, technological, primitive people, in different continents, in different countries, made the same figures? They had no contact together. There were no flying machines, no holiday ships, nothing. They all saw something similar. They wanted to represent the gods, the one who descended. And later, in evolution, our forefathers learned how to chisel figures. So now they did not even anymore made them in caves. They chiseled the figure. In Central America, on the Caribbean Lake Sea, there is a Maya city called Tulum. And the whole city of Tulum is dedicated to the so-called descending gods. You always see the gods with spread legs, with wings, but they fly down from heaven. The original looks like this. You see the hands, the wings, spread legs, the head in front, they are descending. I love this one. He has even shoes. Descending, the wings. The original looks like this here. Here again, the shoes. So the whole city of Tulum is dedicated to these descending gods. And this is not, of course, continuation. Practically in every museum in South America, Central America, you find these helmets around their heads. And you ask the local archaeologists, what is it? Well, we don't know. Los dioses, the gods. It's always the gods. Far away from Central America, Japan. Japan, 8,000 kilometers away. There, the natives made these figures. They are called the Dogu figures. They were on altars. They prayed on them. But Stone Age people in Japan had no idea of glasses. What were they copying? What have they looked on it? This one is from Villahermosa. Villahermosa is in Mexico. You see the figure here has a helmet on. In modern eyes, he even has a micro before his lips. You see his hands are bending downwards the planet Earth, his legs up to the sky. In Arizona, we have the Hopi tribe, an Indian tribe living. And since eternity, they make figures. They paint the figures and they make them. These figures are called kachinas. When you go to the Hopi territory, you can go to a souvenir shop, and there you find some of these kachinas. They are little dolls in different size. And you ask the local, or you ask the local scientists, there's scientific literature about it. What is this? Kachinas. The kachinas were the ancient gods which visited the Hopi Indians and teach them some thousands of years ago. Teach them in astronomy, in mathematics, etc. And of course, these gods all promised in a far future we will return to this planet Earth. Gods of antiquity, they were always helpful. They were always teacher. They always teach some of our forefathers. And then the forefathers later, they named them prophets or teacher or whatever, because they learned something from the extraterrestrials, and what they learned, they teach to the rest of mankind. This is a worldwide phenomenon. And we can prove it, that extraterrestrials were here, because down under this pyramid, I will just show you a sensational excavation. The city here is called Palenque. Palenque is in Mexico, is one of the Maya cities. And this pyramid is called the Temple of Inscription, because up there some 810 Maya inscriptions were found. In 1952, the Mexican archaeologist, Professor Dr. Rutz, found up there in the ground some kind of grooves. So they started to chisel. They took a big stone plate out of it. And inside the pyramid, they discovered